Good evening and welcome to our December 27th, 2019 Circle of Monarchs or Council of Crowns meeting. God, I've been on Circle of Monarchs too much lately. We're calling this to order at 8:08 p.m. Tonight we don't have a formal agenda as it's been the holidays and there's not much going on around the kingdom. We'll be predominantly meeting in a closed session to discuss awards. Yay, who's getting what and how we can accommodate that. On the subject of awards, we unofficially polled the populace, and it seems that the majority would like us to keep those awards secret. So we're going to move with that and not let everybody know who's getting what shiny at the upcoming Dungeon Con 2020. Did anybody have something they would like to add to the agenda for the evening?
Banana, never mind. It doesn't matter.
Since we have a captured audience here and I like to put Zyajin on the spot, would you like to update us on how DC's coming?
It's coming. Yay.
Straight from the horse's mouth, it is coming.
No, actually, VIP sales go off on December 31st, so keep that in mind if you want a VIP ticket. Otherwise, we're working on the swag for that. The event post, which I pointed Rosedaff to today, was updated with a schedule, a kind of a broad, high-level schedule, and we've opened 2 of the gaming tournaments for sign up. I believe there's a Fortnite tournament. It's a 6v6, and then a Call of Duty tournament. Fortnite, I don't know. Call of Duty, I think, is 6v6. But those are going to be cash prizes. If anyone's interested, find a team, go sign up. That's all being done by Warehouse 49. It'll be Saturday at 2, Sunday at 2. The VIPs can start signing up for the dungeon and the D&D table starting next Friday, the 3rd. And I think that's the kind of the highlight. We're slowly trucking along. Like I said, there's a high level schedule up on the Dungeon Con page and the events page. And if you can't find it, let me know and I'll point y'all in the right direction.
Are there any volunteer positions that you're looking for that people should be contacting you about?
We've got, I believe Karen is still looking for some people to help her out in the tavern on that side, and we could still use some help with the admin side. That's just checking in people, and I could always use gophers if when it comes down to it, but I'll add you to a list, and if I'm sure once the weekend comes, there'll be a lot of running around like with a chicken with my head cut off, so I'm sure I'll need lots of help then.
Awesome. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Stephanie?
She told me I don't.
Ro, don't let her tell you what to do. Have all the questions. All right.
I have questions on her state fair bid, though.
You have questions on her state fair bid?
No, but it sounded good.
Okay, I was about to say, you should probably be pretty aware of that state fair bid.
I mean, I have a question. So, do we know how the dungeon's going to be ran yet? Do we have any details on that?
Drake, you want to add some input there? I know a lot of people were upset about the not quite enough LARPing in the previous year.
Well, first of all, those people should have talked to me when I asked for feedback after the event last year, because not a single person did.
Boo.
So I'm going to throw that out there. Second of all, I had a lot of empty spaces last year that people could have signed up for and spent more time in the dungeon. So, but anyway, as far as how this dungeon is going to go, Deli and I wanted to focus primarily on PvE because we don't get to do very much of that on a week-to-week basis. We still kept, of course, some PvP times in there. I want to say, and I don't know if this has changed at all because there has been a little bit of adjustment to the schedule lately. So I'll have to get on this and check. But last year we played up until they kicked us out for battle games late night, and I was excited to keep going to now get out. And so the plan was for us to just go really late this year, which I'm all about. But there's also some PvP stuff happening during the day. I mean, basically the dungeon has stuff on the schedule from shortly after we open to shortly before the whole event closes. So there's a lot going on.
That sounds like I'm going to exhaust myself in the dungeon. Excellent.
I'm pretty sure you have to be busy doing everything else. Oh, by the way, I have exciting news for you. I talked to somebody and I believe we're going to have a throne for you at court.
Yes! I was actually trying to figure out having one made for me.
You have to pretend that you're not excited about it because I stated on the basis that you would hate having to sit in a throne.
Ooh, I am upset about a throne. Grr.
Bring a nice sitting pillow.
Oh, she doesn't get a pillow.
Oh, hey, that's cold.
Sit on this wooden throne.
Does anybody have questions for Drake? I know we've had him talk the last couple meetings, just kind of getting the people.
Yeah, who's in charge of the alcohol?
That's Karen and Dan.
Is he in this meeting? Are they in the meeting?
What do you have questions about the alcohol? I'm going to most likely buy it all. Karen doesn't drink alcohol.
So Drake, how are you doing on monsters? You might have said that and I missed it, but
No, I didn't say that at all. I still need to recruit monsters, and I need to figure out how we're going to, thank them for their time and that kind of stuff. So
a solid high five.
I think we can do better than that, and I think they deserve better than that. Our monsters last year worked really hard and did a great job.
Oh no, I was totally kidding. I definitely think we can
I'm
do
just
better.
saying for the record.
Do you mind if I jump in? I'm kind of
Yeah, Deli, jump in.
okay. Cool. Back when Goran was autocrat, we were talking about giving either half or full of the event seat fee. Like if someone's working the whole event for us, they probably shouldn't pay to get in, sort of thing. Or we're talking about giving meal tickets for people. Like there was a couple different creative solutions we had there that we
We've done it a couple different ways like that. It's usually based on percentage of how much you work, what compensation. Some people are like, no, I already got the ticket. They want the drink tickets instead, and that's fine. But yeah, I'll work with the admin staff and Zygen, and we'll come up with some creative ways to compensate our people that are putting themselves out there for us.
Although I do see a suggestion from Thor in the chat to do a monster belt favor, and I actually think that's a fantastic idea.
That's kind of cool.
Maybe even make it like a talisman or something.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I could have a talisman that'll go through the rest of the reign.
Drake and I will have to talk to the Kingdom field officers about that, just to see if they're on board.
Cool. We'll discuss that further. Can brainstorm it out a little bit. Thanks, Thor. That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, no bid.
You weren't supposed to be able to talk, Thor.
Does anybody else have any questions for anybody that is working on this monumentally large event? Looks like a couple people are typing. All right, Drake, Deli, Stephanie, thank you very much for stepping in there and discussing that a little bit further. So we were just discussing this in closed session, or not closed session, before the session began, but just to update everybody, we are still in the middle of the month of the Crown. Corin, as he has decided to run for Kingdom Prime Minister again for a second term, will be stepping down from running this election, and Nalarian will be taking his place. So anytime anybody would like to put in a letter of intent until 12/31 or 12/30/2019, so Monday morning at 4 a.m., make sure to tag Nalarian in it. I will make an announcement. Say, Corin?
Quick question on that one, because technically I'm only involved in the KPM election.
I think any election in which you're involved in, you should step out.
Well, right. So I would otherwise assume that I'm still running the other elections. So only if you're running for KPM would it be relevant to tag Nalarian instead of me, I think.
Would you find it appropriate to deviate and have two people over an election versus one person over everything?
Well, it depends on how you consider the election. Is it a KPM election and 5 local elections? Or is it one overall big everything election?
I've always treated it as one overall big everything election, the same as when we're doing the Kingdom Monarch or Kingdom officers at the same time as the locals.
Okay, that works for me. I mean, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't confusion on it. Less for me to keep track of for the next couple months.
Yeah, I think it'd be more appropriate just to have everything put together. That way, one person's checking all the eligibility, one person's doing all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Lillian, I take it that's okay with you? Awesome. Thank you, Nalarian. Sorry, Corin, did I cut you off there?
Nope. Just gonna say I'm hands off at this point then. Cool deal.
Perfect. Thank you. If anybody has any questions about elections and or they want to run and they don't know how to, please contact any of your officers. You can also contact me. I've been through a few elections. I'm more than happy to walk you through that. It's always nice to see new officers stepping up. Or Nalarian. Nalarian is a good person to contact about that. Did anybody have anything else they would like to cover this evening? All right. Kraken, no, there is not currently a 3 Barons autocrat. We voted a little while back to do that on a 6-month timetable, and unfortunately now we're a couple weeks behind on that. I will put out a request for that here soon. We moved 3 Barons to 6-month, but kept larger events like the State Fair on a year timetable. Good question. But there is not an autocrat for it yet. That is what it was. Okay, hearing no objections or additional items folks would like to discuss, we will call this to close at 8:22 p.m. As I said, we're all heading down to discuss awards. If anybody has somebody that they'd like us to consider last second, feel free to scoot it down to a message to us and we can discuss it.